What are your thoughts on AI generated music?
I think that it's freaking a lot of people out. That's true.
That's very. You've spoken like a politician.
I know. It's because I don't know. I think in a way it helps. I'm not saying like AI artists. I'm saying, I tried like maybe 2 years ago when AI first came out, and I put in a prompt like, give me 10 ideas for a breakup song, like a title, just out of interest to see if there was any stock in it. And I got nothing. And then I maybe asked like 5 different prompts, maybe, and at this point it might have been like 50 titles. And one of them I was like, oh, I guess I could write a song about that. And I suppose it's not miles away from what happens when you chat to people, when you do a normal songwriting session with my friends or whatever, and we sit down and, we're talking, and then we go, we could write a song about that.
Yeah.
That is the same. I guess is a prompt in a conversation, but it does take away such a human connection feel thing. And that's what's scary, is that it's going to suck away all of the sort of meat of the bone. And I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't yet used anything I've never made anything that's come from a prompt from AI, or anything musical that's come from AI. So I'm yet to I guess benefit from it, but I also am pretty skeptical about using it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit. I hate to bring it back to watches, but when it comes to watchmaking, it's almost like the man-made imperfections make something perfect, because it's always about the story, right? It's always about, Amy Winehouse, for example. It's a really sad story, but that's why her music was so poignant. Whereas I feel like AI doesn't have that. It's almost like it's too polished. I actually remember we had a guest on the podcast quite recently, and the audio was really quite bad. It was really fuzzy, like there was humming, all the stuff that you don't want in an audio. So we uploaded it to AI and we cleaned it up. And I remember my editor, Caroline, who's incredible, by the way, she turned around and she was like, "This has no soul." She said, "There's nothing. This audio now, it doesn't feel right. It feels fake because it's too perfect." So it's almost like the man-made imperfections in music or in photography or in whatever it might be. That's what makes things perfect to specific people.
We were out for dinner, my wife and I, last night with some friends, and we were having a similar conversation about how we'd both met and how we ended up dating and the bumps sort of in the early stages, which would be like cringy or funny or whatever it was. And we were saying, like, if it was just perfect and I found my wife on an app and I reached out and I said the perfect thing and she said the perfect thing and everything was clean, like, it wouldn't be as great. Like, it is the bumps and the creases that you remember, and that's very human. So you're right. If everything is just polished, then it's going to lack soul and we're going to connect less. And I think that's just going to force creatives to have to be more real, even more than they were being before AI, to stand out maybe.
Well, you're actually seeing this now in the social media sphere. Like, if I were to post a video and it was to be professionally filmed videography with, cool cuts and a gimbal to hold the camera and slow-mo shots and macro shots, it actually statistically does worse than if I were to do an intro on my phone, then show what I was doing. Because people connect to the human aspect, and AI is kind of stripping the human aspect away. I actually liken it to, I did a lot of travel when I was younger. Went to like Colombia and Peru and, Thailand and Indonesia, all those kind of places. And the things that I remember are the things that went wrong. It's the right. Times that we arrived at the Airbnb and there was a fucking cockroach on the ground, or the time that we were in Australia and we found a huntsman spider that freaked everyone out, or the time that somebody got so drunk that they did this. And that's real. And I feel like AI will never have that, because it believes that that's not right?
I don't know, man. I obviously it's just come on so much, and I'm not just talking about music, but in general, in the last even year and a half, I think it could maybe eventually learn that we want imperfection, slight, to make it more human. And I don't know. I wouldn't put it past it in a couple of years' time to make things feel more real. So we'll see where we end up with it. I do think it's dangerous for the industry. I mean, for every industry though. But it's that saying that people are like, I want AI to do my dishes and washing so that I can make music. I don't want AI to make music so I can do my dishes and the washing, you know. And at the moment, it is scaring a lot of creatives that it might take their jobs, and obviously we'll see. But I think there's a lot of chat about it at the moment in the industry, and people trying to put laws in place so that it can't be really destructive.
They just did that on YouTube, actually. They, thank God for it, by the way. They released essentially I don't know what they use specifically, but it's some kind of software that scans videos and figures out if it's AI. And if it's AI, it punishes it or takes it down. And I think
interesting.
That's so good, man, because like, especially for the podcast space, people that do podcasts, I mean, Joe Rogan is subject to this all the time. People AI his podcast because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of stuff to work with that it's so believable, and then they make it so that he says something that sells a product that he never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you mean when people like take parts of like Obama's speeches and he sings like Barbie Girl or something?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like they're taking him, but they're AIing it so that it sounds more real, and people fall for it. You know, it's Joe Rogan going, well, I bought this Amiga Speedmaster. Obviously, that's an example just because we're talking about watches, but I bought this Amiga Speedmaster. It's the best watch in the world. You need to buy one. And then all of a sudden goes, oh, people he bought, I'll go and have it. But it's fake. And he said, like, there's podcasts of him speaking about it. And he's like, it's like cutting off, a head of the snake and six grow back. I can't keep up with it.
You can't, my gosh.
Yeah. And you can't get a lawyer involved because these AI generated content, like, nobody owns it because it's AI, and then they're all created in India somewhere. So he's like, there's nobody to sue. It's a real problem, man.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it all getting out of hand, and I can see people making lots and lots of money for doing nothing as well, which is a weird sort of reward. But anyway, I think where it's at right now is a really, really important time.
Yeah,
we need to take action before it sort of gets out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys enjoyed that clip, please do me a huge favor before you go and head over to our Into the Mind podcast official page where we have the raw, uncut Into the Mind podcast, and hit that subscribe button. And the more subscribers we get, the more incredible guests we can get on the show. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all real soon.